What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and as always, thank you for clicking on this video. In preparation for the upcoming film Death on the Nile, I went ahead and revisited, well, not really revisit, because it was actually my first time watching Murder on the Orient Express. So let's go ahead and start this review. This movie stars Kenneth Branagh. He not only stars, but he is the director. He directed this thing, and he's also directing Death on the Nile. So the plot is basically this: he gets called back to London, but on his way he takes an unexpected trip on the Orient Express because he's on a rush, and he's like the fastest way to get back to London. He plays this very charming French guy, but he's also happens to be this very famous world-known detective. He's like the best detective in the world. Nobody beats him at this. So after he hops on his train on his way back to London, somebody gets murdered and they'd ask for his help, and he's like, damn, I cannot catch a break. I just want to be in peace. I just want to take a vacation. And after they insist on helping out, he's like, all right, fine, damn it, where's the body? Let's start this investigation. Let's start interrogating everybody. And I'll be honest, when I first saw this trailer a few years ago, I was like, this looks like a good movie because it's a murder mystery movie, and who doesn't love a good murder mystery movie along with an A-list cast of actors? So I'm guessing this must be good, right?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
No, I mean, boy, was I disappointed. And I'm guessing that this is where the mixed reviews come in, because if you read the book, since it is based on a novel, and if you've seen the original, it was like in the 70s, the original film, then you already know how this goes down. But if you haven't read the novel or seen the original film like myself, then that's how you actually know if it's a good movie or not, because that's how you'll really know how good of a mystery this movie is. After the dead body is discovered and he starts interrogating people, it's just a lot of heavy exposition. He interrogates someone, and for a lot of these characters, they give him like a vague answer, and then he starts talking out loud. He starts thinking out loud, coming up with his conclusions just from a really vague answer, and that happens very repeatedly. You don't really see anything where he's looking for clues a lot of the time, or something is discovered. A lot of it's just done with him asking questions, and then he comes up with his conclusions all of a sudden, but you're just wondering, okay, how? I know he's like really good, I know he's supposed to be a genius, but you, as the audience, you want to see that on screen on how, and you want to put the pieces together along with him, but you don't feel like you're right with him, with Mr. Detective over here. You don't feel like you're right with him solving this case. You're just watching and just waiting for him to tell you an answer, another piece to the puzzle. But it's kind of hard to keep up with, because he starts mentioning names, he starts mentioning all these pieces of information that are related to a really famous murder case that happened years ago. You start to find out that all these people have some sort of connections, have some sort of relation to that case. But it's not as easy to put all these pieces together based on the information that he gives you. The only way that, for me, that I was trying to put everything together and find out who this murderer is just based on how much screen time these people were getting, all the passengers on the train, because it's a huge cast, which, by the way, they're not really giving much to do. Some people get more screen time than others, and they are all A-list actors pretty much, and you don't really see anything that shows off their capabilities. I will say that for the ones that did not get a lot of screen time, I was thinking, maybe it's them. I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, so that way they can kind of trick you, for you to be like, okay, if this character is not showing up as much, then that's probably going to be the big reveal at the end. But it wasn't like that. But then again, I don't know if that was the purpose of why they did such thing. But I would assume that whether it was on purpose or not, it's a tactic that I believe it worked, because me personally, I didn't narrow it down accurately to what the big reveal is. I mean, I did have one person in mind, and that technically that one person was the one in charge of the whole operation, but I didn't know that everyone, and spoiler alert, I mean, have to have seen it by now. If not, then, just stop the video right now. But anyway, I didn't know that it was literally everyone involved. I mean, I could have thought of that. I believe that I should have just stopped and thought for a little bit while longer because everyone has a solid alibi for themselves and for one another. And there's even the doctor, he's even willing to cover up for pretty much everyone because he doesn't want anyone to take the blame. But I really thought it was just gonna be Michelle Pfeiffer's character alone because of that. Just off of that little interaction that she has with Johnny Depp in the very beginning, I was like, it looks like they have some sort of history. And I really thought it was just gonna be her because she's kind of also trying to play it off too hard by saying, oh, there's a man. Like she kept insisting, there was a man in my cabin, there was a man, I saw him. And then she gets stabbed apparently, and that's usually like a red flag that that knife is strategically just placed there in order for her to look like the victim. But I will give the movie this, that visually there's a lot of good camera work because you have to take in consideration. I don't know if they actually filmed in an actual train, but it feels like you're on an actual train, especially when the camera is on top and is shooting overhead on some of these scenes when they are inside these cabins, and they're really cramped cabins, but the camera's on top. So, and sometimes the camera's not on top, it's actually inside. It gets these angles where you actually feel you're in this cramped space. I was really hoping for more of an experience of us experiencing this investigation along with Kenneth Branagh, but it didn't really feel like that. And for that, I will say that Murder on the Orient Express is going to be a VOD for me. I am having high hopes for Death on the Nile. I'm really hoping that it does better than this first film. I am wondering if it has any connection to the original plot or if with this original murder or if it's just a completely separate case just for the sake of having a sequel. But I want to know from you guys, whatever your thoughts are, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep watching this channel and keep watching movies.